Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. This is my channel where I talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. It's been a long time coming, and honestly, this topic that I'm going to talk about today is very niche, and I know a lot of people are very interested in it because I'm sure you've been pitched one of these days about these businesses. You definitely have. All right, so we're talking about MLMs in general, but there's a lot of information on the internet about MLMs. Mostly, unfortunately for us, mostly from developed countries like the US, the UK, etc. And most of the content creators I follow, because I am in the MLM space, I love I love reading about it. I love learning about it. I love the dynamics of it. It's just there's something so intriguing about the psyche of it and the way everything runs that intrigues me. So a lot of the people I watch, a lot of the creators I watch, they're American. They're they're not from Nigeria. I think I've only ever watched one creator from Nigeria. She didn't do the deep dive as much as I would have liked. That is why I even created that is why I made this video, because I really wanted to educate people on the little knowledge that I have about MLMs. So I'll just give you a backstory, right? So I learned about MLMs when I was in my first year in university from a friend, not really a friend, more like a classmate, right? He was into MLMs. I think he still is. I'm not going to call anybody out. It's perfectly fine. Anybody can be an MLM. And I'm not even here to say that anybody who is an MLM is a bad person, because for starters, being in Nigeria in itself, it's something for everybody. It makes your survival instincts very strong. You have to find ways to survive. So anybody who is an MLM now, I am never going to ever shame them. Never. Because I know and I understand why they are doing it. And I almost fell for it. So I don't know. I don't think I would ever shame anybody for getting an MLM. I'm just here to educate people and to make them realize what exactly they're getting into. And for people who have questions about MLMs and all that in general, I'm just here to educate. That's why I'm here. I'm here to educate, not to downgrade. Okay. So I want to give you a little dynamic of how MLMs run in developing countries. Now, before we do that, we need to look at how MLMs work in developed countries. In developed countries, an MLM is a multi-level marketing scheme. Basically, it's a business opportunity in quotes that gives you the opportunity to be able to make money and be your own boss. But that's not true. You're working for the company anyways. You're a sales representative essentially for the company's products. For example, if I wanted to sell, maybe for example, these bread rolls, right? I could say, okay, instead of me just selling the bread rolls as it is, I will give it to some sales representatives to sell the bread rolls for me, right? And when the sales representatives sell the bread rolls, I'll give them a commission off the bread rolls. But in this case, for MLMs, I think that sounds legit. Most people do that. That's what influencers do. But the difference with MLMs is that aside from selling the bread rolls and making a profit, you can actually recruit more people to come and work with me to sell the bread rolls and make profits, right? But they have to pay a fee to become part of the people that sell the bread rolls in my community. The bread rolls are very, very expensive, like more expensive than anything. And most times the bread rolls are shit. They usually have shit products that are not worth the price. And you make more money from recruiting people into selling bread rolls then you make money from selling the barrels themselves. So that's exactly what a multi-level marketing scheme is. And that's the difference between a multi-level marketing scheme and a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme, you don't have a product there, and that's almost we even use to differentiate them. Multi-level marketing schemes are essentially, they are usually legal because there's a product that you can use to explain why you do it, because it's just like a commission-based business. That's what most people tell you, that it's just commission, you're just making commission. But no, that's not true. It's more than it, because why should you have to pay somebody before you make commission? Oh, and I forgot to mention that in the multi-level marketing scheme analogy I was making about bread rolls earlier, you might be selling the bread rolls, right, and at the end of the day you don't make any money and you wasted your time completely because your bread rolls are shit and nobody likes them. And then the company, me, that's selling the bread rolls, will make more money than you, who is just an affiliate of me. Do you understand? So MLMs are generally life threatening, life ruining. There are a lot of very, very cultish behaviors with MLMs. They isolate their members. They they make you feel bad. They brainwash their members. They make them feel like this is the only way for you to be successful, which is not true. Because the analogy I always use when they come to me and explain is that if you go outside and stop like 10 very, very nice looking cars and ask them, hey, what do you do? At least 10 out of 10 will tell you that they don't do an MLM. So there it is. Now in developing countries like Nigeria, right? I stay in Nigeria. It's not easy to for MLMs to grow because of one simple thing. Because the products are expensive and we are broke. Nigerians, a lot of us are in poverty. I think, according to the World Bank, around more than 100 million of the population is in poverty. So you can understand that we don't have money. You cannot pitch us an MLM and we get on it. Unlike in the US, where you could actually be poor and you could get into an MLM, but we are poor here in the sense that we have poverty. So it's very hard for MLMs to recruit people because the business model itself is not attractive. You don't even have the money to start the capital. Even the sales recruit or the network marketer that is trying to recruit you does not even have money to buy the product themselves. So it's very, very hard for people to pay the fee to get into the company, which is like what they call the manager's kit. It's very hard for people to pay for that. It's very hard for people to pay for the products. It's very hard for people to buy stock. So it's very hard to run an MLM in Nigeria. So essentially, if you are going to run an MLM in Nigeria, it's going to move more like a pyramid scheme and less like an MLM. But that's not why we're here. Why we're here is because of one particular company, and I'm sure if you're a Nigerian, especially if you're in university in Nigeria, you would have heard of the company Neolife, Neolife. This video is to do a deep dive, not deep passing, just to give you my knowledge or what I think about the company and what I think how it runs. So I was pitching Neolife in 100 level. I told my mommy I wanted to join. She said no. She said it was a scam. I did not believe that it was not a scam. It was a scam anyways. At least that's what I think. So let me tell you how Neolife works. Like I said, Neolife is what is Neolife? Neolife is an American-based company. It's just like any other company. Herbalife, Amway, they sell herbal products that's supposed to improve your life. One popular one is tree and yen. It's supposed to help you and all that. I don't really know much about their products essentially because like I said, in developing countries like Nigeria, they are not pitching a product, they're pitching something else. What they pitch is skills. Yes. And if you're a Nigerian youth who is in university, you would have definitely heard learn a skill, learn a computer skill, learn tech skills, learn how to code, learn how to do graphic design, learn how to write emails, learn how to do email marketing, learn how to edit videos, learn how to build website, learn how to become a developer. You have to learn a lot of tech skills because really here a lot of the skills you have, even if you do go to school, you don't end up finding a job. But getting a tech skill, because of how the world is growing in tech, it makes it easier for you to be able to find something to do. So a lot of people are encouraged to get tech skills, and that is where Neolife comes in. Neolife has a group, at least in Nigeria, that I know of, called FHG, Faith Heroic Generation. And basically what they do is that they collaborate with Neolife. I'm not really sure how it works. This is just what I think. They collaborate with Neolife and they introduce a new method into making money in Neolife, which is essentially skills. So what they do tell you is that they release flyers. I don't know if I have any flyers at the moment. This video does not have any graphics, so it's just listening. They release flyers and tell you that, oh, young man, young woman, come and learn skills from us. It's totally free. You don't need to have any knowledge prior. You just need to be enthusiastic and ready to learn. You're going to learn skills in 3 months. We're going to teach you and you're going to be able to make $100 to $300 per month. Now, as an American or someone in the UK, you might think, what the hell is that? That's meaningless. But here in Nigeria, $100 to $300 is actually quite meaningful. I think a lot of our lecturers don't even make up to $500. Lecturers that teach university, like professors in university, don't even make up to $500. I doubt if they even make up to 300. So you can understand that. I think they do make past 300, but definitely less than 500. So you can understand that, oh, this is definitely a good deal. It is. So most people are always on board and they want to do it, they want to learn it, they want to see how do we make money and all of that. They will teach you the skill and they will teach you how to make money with the skill. So what they do is that they teach you the skill, they do teach people the skills, and they do teach you how to use those skills to get gigs on freelancing sites like Fiverr and Upwork. Now, in the process of teaching the skills, there's something called an office. An office is basically a building or a center that has been rented or is owned by a top person in the Neolife hierarchy who opens up the place in different locations. Usually is one person per location. So for example, you could have an office in a particular location, and in that office you train your recruits, they sleep overnight there, you brainwash them essentially there, and it's basically their safe space to be able to walk, to be able to talk, and to be able to congregate. See, like a church, kind of like the church, or see like a meeting spot. But I think a church should make sense. It's that safe space that new life people are able to meet and talk and interact. So it isolates them from society. Yes. Unlike the church, which you are allowed to go in and come out, new life, the offices are basically where you do everything that has to do with new life. Okay. So in the offices, they are brainwashed. They are made to go to the offices every day. um they recruit students and tell them, oh, we are learning how to be leaders. We're reading this book currently. This is, I mentioned the financial aspect, but sometimes they do go to secondary schools where secondary school students are learning. They go there and they try to recruit students and tell them, oh, we're reading a leadership book, we're doing self-development in your life, come and join us. And a lot of them do join, and basically they do all this in the office. The brainwashing is in the office. It's in isolated. They don't do it out in the open. They don't rent a building. They have a spot that they do all this in their office, and that's the office is where they do everything. And basically, at least as far as I know, it's a really, really big deal if as a new life, a person in your life, you're able to get an office. It means you've reached a particular rank. um New life also has this thing of another way of they used to entice people is phones. In Nigeria, we worship money a lot. We're very materialistic. So when we see someone an iPhone, we think highly of them. We think important of them. I do personally. I think it's weird, but basically, they think highly of people with iPhones. So they have high iPhones. They buy cars. They're basically always trying to flaunt their wealth on the social media. And if you read more about MLMs, that's essentially how they operate. They always want to entice people and make people see that you are missing out. You there outside, you are missing out. Join us. Anyways, in the offices, after learning the skills, after going every day from morning to night to learn the skills in your life, sometimes they stay over. Sometimes they are treated really, really badly in the offices. I remember reading a couple of stories on Twitter about how people were really treated badly in New Life. I remember seeing a story on Facebook about someone who New Life killed. I didn't really read into it. I read a bit, but I don't remember the details like before because I didn't really focus that much on it. But the person died as a result of New Life. So I can tell you that the way they are treated here is not even nice at all. And judging from the way MLMs are, it's kind of like a cult, like I say. So they have to brainwash you and somehow also demean you at the same time. So it makes sense. It's the power plays, the dynamics of how it runs. Okay, so after you learn the skills, right? You've learned the skills after 3 months. You are taught how to use Fiverr and Upwork. Then you begin to work. You begin to take gigs online and work. And when you take gigs online and you start to work, the money you made is not for you, it's for the office. And you give an office a percentage of the, you give the office all the money, in fact not a percentage, then the office gives you some money back. And even before you start working, the office gives you money first. The office gives you money, and that money is like upkeep. So when you start making money, they tell you, oh, what's upkeep you've been collecting all along? Where do you think it was coming from? What did you think? So you have to give them the money, and whatever it is you're going to get, whether a phone, whether a bike, whether it's a house, it's going to be in the name of New Life. New Life is going to be the one that will buy it for you, because they want to use that to hold you back. So if you decide to leave eventually, if you decide to leave, if you go to a police station or something, they will tell you, oh, where's the receipt? It's New Life that is on the receipt. So they basically try to control your life so you never leave. They don't want you to leave, because if you leave, you're going to tell other people not to go, and you're going to ruin your reputation. So they want more people to stay. A lot of them talk to students, tell them that there's no point going to school. They make people drop out from school. They make people not interested in their studies. They make them see that as the only way they can make them in life. They make them lose their friends because their friends don't believe in that same thing. Basically, all their life should be about New Life and making money. So when after, and you might be asking, okay, so is that the scheme they basically profit off of people that are working? Oh, no. No, remember that we said this is an MLM, right? And it involves products. So after that, they take some of the money that you make and they use it to buy products for you from the company New Life. Now, okay, they buy products. When do they sell it? That's it. They don't sell it. There's no one to sell it to. There's no market here. Nobody's going to buy 30,000 naira drugs here. Nobody has that kind of money. Only a few people, and even those people, they cannot buy it more than once. So they don't sell the products. They actually only buy the products so they can, rank in their QVP or whatever it is. But they don't sell them, and then they recruit people. They tell them, oh, yeah, sure, freelancing is nice, but the only way to actually make money in this business is to do the MLM thing, is to recruit people, is to sell the products, is to buy the products from the company. So they make them buy the products, they make them recruit people. And they recruit people through the same strategies, stunting, telling them to come and learn skills, telling them that they are learning leadership skills, whatever. So they're always looking for someone with warm blood, whoever it is, it doesn't matter who it is. Is the person breathing? Can the person express interest? Come. So that is how they make money. And essentially, when they buy the products, they just give it out because there's really nothing to do with it. They give it out or they stock it up in their rooms or whatever. So that's how the model is in Nigeria. That is how it is. They don't sell the products. They do not sell the products. They buy the products from the company. They recruit people, and that rises them up in the ranks. And when they rise up in the ranks, right? When they rise up in the ranks, they buy clothes, they buy shoes, they buy phones. Yes, I know these are normal things, but as a Nigerian, it's not a normal thing. Okay, they buy shoes, they buy car. If they can, they rent a house, and they begin to stunt on the haters. And with the way our society is all around money, worships money, of course people are going to join. That's it, they're going to join. And when they begin to rank, they begin to pay them income from New Life. And in the beginning, maybe New Life is only paying them $50. And I'm sure as an American, you probably think it's just $50. That's just get a job, bro. That's the thing. There are no jobs. One. And two, $50 is a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, but it is pretty significant if that is your first month in New Life. And if by the end of the month you're already making like $200, that is a lot of money. And it's money that most people are probably not even ever put their hands upon. So even in Nigeria, sometimes these MLMs, yes, they are sneaky, yes, they are snark, yes, but some people actually make money and it actually helps them. The only problem is that the market is heavily saturated now. The only way you can make money in MLMs is to come there first. If you come there first, you can recruit people. But now people are coming and they are joining and they are learning the skills. But unfortunately, they're not getting any gigs on Fiverr because Fiverr is heavily saturated. And not getting any gigs on Upwork, so there's no money. And when there's no money, skin cannot flow because you need money to flow from the bottom to the top. So when there's no money, so Fiverr is saturated, and it's harder to work, and it's harder to make money, and it's harder to keep people in the earlier phase of the recruitment because they don't see a point in it. It's also harder because the market is highly saturated. Everybody's doing New Life, so everybody wants to recruit you. So it's like, ugh. And so most people that even join don't even get any gigs to start with. So and they only end up suffering. So what's the point? So a lot of people have been burned by New Life and they are back in the real world. So the market is becoming more and more saturated. And also one last thing, in the US where New Life is from, MLMs are becoming more and more hard to survive. Like it's harder for them to survive. So who knows how long New Life will last, So I just want to recommend. I understand you're in New Life now. They're promising you that you make money. Truth is, you might never make money. And don't ever think that's the only way you ever make it. No, there are many ways to make it. Many, many ways. So this is just a wake-up call for those in New Life. Just a little info on those who have been wondering how it works. That's how it works in Nigeria. I don't know about you, but I want to learn more, and I really hope more creators come out and talk about this more. If you want more information about MLMs, how they work and all of that, and even a little bit of information on New Life, you can check out Hannah Alonzo, HANNAH, Hannah Alonzo, ALONZO. She's the person I follow, she's the person I learn from, and also my own research. If you like videos like this, please let me know in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. Let's see what other videos you can make. There's also I'm hoping to do a video on experts in AI. If you're interested in watching it, you can always mention that. wonderful to have you guys here. Wonderful talking with you guys. As you can see, I got so riled up about everything. So have a wonderful day. Bye bye.